Say something real. Say something real.
Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And I'm sorry, I can't do the show this morning because I'm cold, because it's 61 degrees in this studio. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Oh, wait. Male pause. Everybody got it in here. Oh, freezing. Brothers must be having hot flashes. So I got to freeze with them. Now, I just, I want to put people business out the streets. But what y'all going through? Because it's freezing in this studio.
It is cold.
I mean, and then everybody act like it's something wrong with me. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start the show like that. I'm upset. My hands feel like icicles up here. Good morning. Good morning to the brothers in the studio. What up, Clark Kid?
Who you with?
Not with you.
I
am not
cold
with you.
over here.
No, cold as it is today. Not with you today, bro. Wrangler, Ride Out, whatever your name is. Yeah.
See,
see, you one of the reasons why it's cold up here.
Yeah, because I'm a cold dude. Hey,
let me just say this. Shut your mouth.
Hey, which one of these cameras is on so I can look in the camera?
No camera is on you.
Oh, I'm a cold.
Thank Clark.
Oh, I'm a cold.
Thank Clark. Stop snorting.
Well,
Stop snorting, man.
Snuffleupagus, man. I get my snuffleupagus
No
on.
camera is on you.
Hey, man.
Clark either love you or he hates
you. Let's say it again.
How are you this morning, sir?
Well,
what?
Shell, when you wear your hat like that.
Oh, we had to put it on because it's cold. I didn't have a hat on. My hair was cold, completely different when I came into this studio. I had to go back out to my car and get a hat for my head.
Yeah.
Because it's and I got snot bubbles because I'm stiff as snot.
Yeah. See,
that's how cold it is up in this camp.
Snot bubbles.
No, I'm just saying. I'm sniffing. I sound like Keith Perry sitting behind his mic. All I need is tissue with snot everywhere.
I'm gonna start calling Keith Snuffleupagus.
I ain't never seen nobody nose run all the time.
They said, where did he warm Michelle up?
Dude, I'm just saying. He just be dabbing. he stay with allergies or something he got, but he forever got a runny nose. Did you want to say something? Because I'm about to move on.
I was going to
say, and don't come up with none of your questions of the day. It's what's today? It's Wednesday.
But it's Black History
Month. It's Wednesday.
It is. Hump Day. Look.
What?
It's Black History Month, right?
With the TH, yes it is.
Now,
and Keith months.
Now, you do know
all that education.
You do know there is some hood history moments that has happened.
Hood history?
Hood history.
Such as what?
Well,
such as what? I want to hear your history.
Well, there was a guy.
It's already not starting off well. But go ahead.
But he was the first to come up with putting seasoning on chicken. And he figured out at a barbecue.
What kind of seasoning on
Lawry's.
Chicken?
It was Lawry's, but it wasn't Lawry's then. He had a friend named Lawry. And, they was close.
Why you do this?
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I just need to encourage myself.
Why you don't? Why do you do this?
Someone asked the question.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And since you're giving bogus Black history.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, man. We want to thank Lawry's, man.
Nah, I want to.
don't want to thank Lord.
I want to thank your parents.
Thank you, Mama.
Hey, Michelle, somebody say, yuck, not Keith Pear sniffers.
Dude, watch him. He always dabbing like a little kid in the third grade. Nose always running.
That'll kill him.
Except when he preaching. His nose don't run when he preach. But any other time, his nose is running. All right, Jermaine, just for you, I want to play.
Come on.
I'm hooking up my computer.
Come on with it.
I want to play this just for you. I got my. Are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Where's the volume? Wait. I'm gonna start it over. Hold on. Yeah. Because this is just for you.
You know,
and your shenanigans.
Sometimes I just need stuff just for me.
You
know, just catered for
But
me.
you ought to think about everybody else. And why we all gotta be subject. Where's the thing? Oh, here it is.
Sequential life of any South Carolinian in memory. I know who Robert Smalls was. Tell the people about this man's extraordinary story.
Robert Smalls was born into slavery. Now, around the age of 17, he started working on the waterfront. Here, he was prancing around the ship one day. He threw on the captain's cap. And one of his buddies said to him, you know, when you put that cap on, you look exactly like the captain. This set off something in his head. And he started making a plan. He started studying the currents. He knew how the currents flowed in the Charleston Harbor. He then listened to all of the whistles. He knew what the whistles meant. And then he hatched a plan to escape from slavery. He brought his family into the plan and a few of his close friends. And because he noticed that on every Friday night, the three guys who ran the ship would go into Charleston and would not come back until Saturday. He picked the Friday night that he was going to wait for them to go in, and when he thought it was safe, he put that captain's cap on, and he fired up the engines. He started the whistles to going, and they took the planter, that ship, out of the Charleston Harbor, past Fort Sumter, where the Civil War began. He did the right whistles, and the sentry yelled out, "Go blow those damn Yankees out the water." And he said, "I kept going, got beyond any capture." His wife had brought along a white bedsheet, and they took that bedsheet and put up the flag of surrender and delivered that ship to the Union Army. And he got his freedom.
And he went on to become a congressman as well.
Absolutely. He became, for 10 years, a member of the House of Representatives in South Carolina. In fact, it was Robert Smalls that put up the resolution to have free public education for everybody. And Robert Smalls, who did not have an education himself, when he did that, South Carolina became the first state in the Union to provide free public education for all.
So, you know, we have real Black history.
You know,
not your fake Lowry season song,
you know,
version.
who would have ever
Real
thought,
Black history.
who would have ever thought that Lowry's would contribute to the freeing of slaves?
It didn't. And as we acknowledge at this moment, real Black history, brother Robert Smalls,
okay,
congressman. And did you hear what Jim Clyburn, the man who was telling that story, he has been right here in this studio. I have interviewed him on this show.
Really?
Yes. Congressman Jim Clyburn. I have interviewed him on this show. He has come during, the political season, stomping for, I don't know who he was stomping for at the time, maybe Biden. But he is the congressman out of South Carolina. And for him to tell that story, to talk about the fact that an enslaved man who had no formal education watched and learned everything that they needed to know about how to operate this ship
Wow.
and drive this joker to freedom.
Yeah.
Then hand over the ship to the Union Army, get his freedom in return, and then go on that period of Reconstruction. What I say, it lasted 12 years, to serve in Congress and decide that everybody should have access to free public education. But the reason why that is important to me, all of that is set into motion because one person says something.
I was about to
Go ahead.
I
You
was.
say it.
I,
You say what you want to say.
listen. What really got me about that story was somebody spoke life into him. He put that hat on. Somebody looked at him and spoke life into him, and it lit something in him.
Absolutely.
And,
That
yeah,
part of the story
yeah.
is so crazy to me
yeah,
that you hear something, you never know how you are going to be impacted by what people say and do.
yeah.
And when we talking to people, we never know what that impact will be. And you can build somebody up, inspire them, or you can break them and tear them down.
And it could have just been that the guy that told him he looked good in the captain hat was playing.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you look good with that. And he, well, you know what? Maybe I do.
So I love that story. It had been circulating on social media. Congressman Clyburn shared that. And I just thought, like, yes, we need to make sure that we start our day there because in the midst of everything that's going on, it is so much crazy as usual that we are subject to. But let me do a couple of things real quick. Last night, a lot of folks were watching, stayed up late, in fact, watching the search that was going on, the apprehension of an individual that people believed may have had a connection to the missing mother, whose name is Nancy Guthrie of Savannah Guthrie and her siblings. And so, news started breaking mid to late evening that, they released the video of the guy outside of her home, all covered up, the crazy big, mitten gloves on, the creepy eye holes in the ski mask outside of this woman's home. I was listening to the folks who study body language and criminal behavior, and they were talking about how calm this guy looked as he was moving through her, breezeway and getting flowers to obscure the camera. And but then they commented on, but the way he was wearing his gun was a weird way to wear his gun that was brandished on his, like, the front part of his side, and it just all looked crazy. And so man ends up being detained. The police presence is maddening. They rush to this house, they search this house. This Hispanic Latino woman comes on and she's like, hey, yeah, they in our house. She said, I told him, you free to search. I don't know what y'all doing, but there ain't nothing going on up in here. And the guy that they had detained was her son-in-law, and he is a delivery guy. He said they held him for, several hours. Eventually they released him. And so this morning they are back to saying, that this guy, checks out. He didn't have anything to do with it as far as we can tell. The house checked out clean. So, people were on this roller coaster ride last night with this search. But the thing that just got me is the incompetence at times of some of these folks that's involved. Because Savannah Guthrie's mother's home, which was a crime scene, was subsequently released back to the family within like 3 days of the abduction. Even though they said that there was blood they now know belonged to her mother. But so family, neighbors, other people, anybody else had an opportunity to go through that crime scene and then end up contaminating the crime scene. Then now you see them back out at the house, searching manholes, going through this, going through that. And it's just like, well, how did you release the house back to the family in terms of people being able to access these things, and you hadn't done a complete thorough investigation. It was very because I mean, it wasn't no rush. It wasn't like nobody else was living there. Like, can we get back in the house? We don't have any place to stay. There was no rush. And so I thought about that. It made me go back to the Milwaukee Police Association here, who wants to raise hell about people being paid settlements because everybody don't feel like defending y'all BS when y'all mess up and when y'all officers are out of order. And you want people to be able to win cases on a technicality, not based on the fact that they should have never been incarcerated, but on a technicality. I think about the officer down in Uvalde who everybody, including those parents, was going to put the responsibility of their children being killed or shot and harmed on one officer. Well, you didn't do enough when you got to the scene to stop the killer. And then when you go back and you hear the story, the man was doing everything he could on his own. And I had somebody tell me, well, if you decide that that's your job, do your job. I'm all for that. But you still got to be strategic in how you execute your job. But then you got all them other officers that eventually arrived on the scene and stood in the hallway waiting on the command to tell them to do something, and they didn't for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 minutes. But this one man is being charged with 29 counts of murder. And I'm just like, are y'all serious right now? We're not going to blame the gun manufacturers. We're not going to blame the people that, make it easy for these people to get guns in their hands. We're not going to blame the legislatures that won't do red flag laws. We're not going to blame, anybody, but we're going to find this one guy, scapegoat him, and everybody go home and feel good. And then you got people outside, family members, we got let down by the system today. More than one person let y'all down, fam. And so I'm going back to the way this has been handled so far. And, maybe it's a small town. They don't get a lot of drama. They don't know or haven't had to do it in a long time. But it was some clear mistakes and missteps made in the processing and handling of this woman's case. That, had stuff been done earlier, we could be talking about a different situation right now. I don't know how long it takes to get surveillance video off a camera. I don't know. But we 10 days in now. This may be day 11 before that video was released last night to the public. The FBI may have known a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But it just galls me that there are law enforcement officers who think they should never be held freaking accountable. And you don't never have nothing to say about all them cases in which taxpayers end up paying money and it's clear cut, no technicalities, 100% that y'all was out of order. And people got to get paid. You ain't worried about taxpayer money then. You ain't worried about Milwaukee taxpayer money when you get the residency rules changed so your behind can live in Caledonia and Brookfield and Waukesha and, Sturtevant, wherever the hell else you want to live, and then driving here every day. Don't act like you worried about Milwaukee taxpayer money, because your money don't even stay in Milwaukee. All this disingenuousness will have you so full watching and listening to it. But I'm just looking at these, I almost call these people out their name. These people standing up behind Tom Tiffany, the MPA, telling me we support Tom Tiffany. And I'm thinking, you want to raise hell about settlements of Milwaukee taxpayer money that's being spent on Milwaukeeans when y'all don't even live in the damn city. So don't act like the money that we lose in Milwaukee is impacting your quality of life. Because your paycheck is coming no matter if nobody else in the city get paid, they're going to figure out a way to pay the police. You don't even live here. So don't spare me and everybody that fall for it spare me that you give a damn about how much money we paying out in settlements for police misconduct. Spare me the disingenuousness of your comments. When you make sure that none of y'all have to even live in the city if you don't want to. And many of you choose not to. But you take our money and go build up another community. And then you want to sit up here and try to clown because Milwaukee citizens getting paid when things were done improperly to Milwaukee citizens. Y'all got hella nerve. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Doing great. Doing great. Going back to when you first came about this.
Hang on, bro. You got us on speaker or something? Or your radio? It's real choppy.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn my radio down. Let me get my Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit better. Let's try it.
Okay. Going back to when you were talking about the man put on the captain's hat. There was this guy in 1701, 17, he converted to master on the ship and he converted to Christian.
You know what, bro? It's hard to hear you, fam. I'm not sure what's going on. You got your radio on or something?
Let me turn my radio off.
Yeah, turn it off.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
All right, let's try one more time.
Okay. It was this guy on the master ship. He was a master in 1701, 1702. Converted to Christianity, and his name was John Newton. You
know what, babe? It's not working. I don't know if it's the phone, but we can hear like every other word. And I'm sure this is a valuable, lesson. I don't want to miss it. Let me have you see if you can call back and we'll try it again, okay? Bruh. All right, go ahead and hang up. All right, we'll see if we can get him back. Let's go to the next caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Happy Vaseline damn day.
You know what? You get on my nerves. What's going on, Arizona? How you doing this morning?
Man, let me tell you how messy they are with that crime, man. Did you see when they was talking on the news and somebody ordered pizza in the house and the pizza man walking up to the door, touching on the door, getting change and everything. Somebody ordered pizza from the dang on house the other day.
You from Nancy Guthrie's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are y'all doing out there? It just makes no sense to me the way some of this has been handled.
Yeah. Not even that. You ain't catch nobody, but y'all letting the house go, and she's still missing, but y'all just let people walk through the house and everything.
Yeah, like I said, I knew they turned it over to the family, so I'm assuming that's the family that's up in there, but it seems like all of that was done prematurely.
And to me personally, they don't seem like they worried enough from their little confessions. It's real bland. It's real, no tears, no nothing. Just could you bring her back? We'll like her back. And man, y'all don't want that lady back because y'all ain't got the white folk tears or nothing coming down.
Who? Yeah, Savannah done been teared up on TV. What you talking about, man?
I ain't been seeing nothing.
You know what? Did you call last week and say you was tired of hearing about this lady? Did you?
I am tired of hearing about her.
So now you raise the say because ain't nobody crying for her. Bye, Arizona.
Yeah. Hey, wait. I got one more question.
What?
I got one more question.
What?
Who's trying to kick the Negro off the radio? Come on, fam. I got one question.
What?
Did Meech watch Bad Bunny or did he watch the Turning Point halftime show?
You know which one he watched. you know which one he watched.
I want to know, was he shaking the tail feather to Kid Rock?
He was at Kid Rock after party. You already know. Talk to you later, bro. Look, why y'all stirring the hornet's nest? Y'all know Beach go, wait a minute. Why you let the man say that about me? You ain't no good. Let me go to break. See how y'all just for no reason just stir up stuff? Messy listeners, messy. We'll be right back, y'all. Messy.
know, speaking of Black history, we must we always tell people there are certain things you can change through lifestyle change, and there are certain things you can't. And one of the things you can't change is your nationality or your race. And
Your genetics.
and we I we were taken out of our country, put on the ship, and brought to America. And the slaves that survived were the slaves that were salt retainers, because the other ones died of
Dysentery.
dysentery, dehydration, whatever. So when we got to America, we made it with other slaves, and it's not. Some of us do, but it's not that we eat too much salt. It's just that we're more salt resistant. We should eat less salt
Because our bodies are much more sensitive to it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our bodies are, and it ain't our fault.
Right. And
it always gets back to slavery.
And
we say it all the time. It always gets back to slavery.
And it may not be our fault, but we still have to do something about it, right?
But if you don't know it,
exactly.
If you don't know it, and you go to the doctor, and the doctor go, "Oh, you African Americans, y'all blood pressure's so high,"
Excuse me.
It's an insult.
That's what I'm saying.
When he said "you people," excuse me,
and then that makes you feel some kind of way.
Oh, sure.
And
well,
then,
it makes you feel like you want to hurt somebody too.
Well, and
so.
you feel like, well, I got it anyway. But no, because we've taken how many blood pressures in the community, and a lot of time men, they really get more defeated quicker than the women do when their blood pressures are high, because men fixate more on numbers than women do. Yeah, y'all want to know the number. What's my number? What's normal? What's
ain't gonna do nothing but tell me the number.
Want to know the number?
You know why?
Why?
So we at the barber shop.
So you can talk, man. Let me tell you what my numbers is.
Statistically correct when I'm having this conversation. That's one of the processes of you walk up, Brenda, how you doing? And Brenda pulls out her medical chart. This is the process when you get older. Keith, how you doing? Well, and then we tell you. I'm like, dude, I don't really want it.
I didn't really want
medical
all of
history.
that.
This was more of an esoteric question.
Yeah.
Like,
just how you doing?
how
like
you
being
doing?
kind. Right.
I
Good
mean,
to see you.
Oh man, I tell the story, man. I went to. That's why I don't go to Super Bowl parties. And these brothers talked 30 minutes about gout. I know my boy listening. I was going like, there's a game.
But my
they're arguing about it. I'm like, come on, man.
Which is different to everybody. Every personal
and
gout is different.
And it's painful. It's bad. It's painful.
What about we hear this term congested heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of congested heart failure?
It is truly congestive heart failure when your heart is not pumping effectively, and your heart on the left side, it pushes all the blood out, and it does it so forcefully. But if things aren't working properly, because the blood got to come back and go into the lungs, your heart, and into the lungs and come back out, you can get where you get extra fluid. The heart is not functioning
and it's
properly.
Someone was just telling me about a friend of ours. She went in for surgery, and they took her.
go back to the show. Debo about to get jumped up in here.
Catch them
I
strays.
mean, I'm just looking like what? Okay, y'all. Debo trying to start, and I'm not getting ready to mess with him right now. Before I went to the break, there were some phone calls. Let me try, see if we can get some folks in real quick. Hey caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Did Debo bring you a space heater?
No, ma'am. He just brought drama. That's all he brought.
Kerosene heater.
Oh my goodness.
he just brought mess.
See, excellent show this week, Michelle. The three topics that I really enjoyed was about MPS being overspent or over budget.
Okay.
I think the alderman that called in and had to give his take on everything, that was really good. And then also yesterday's show with the county being in.
Okay.
There was the superintendent we had, was it Doreen Driver?
Darian.
Darian.
Mhm.
They used to bring in a representative from MPS to the show to talk about things that were going on.
Right.
Do you think that your agent can do something like that this year, especially with our concerns with the schools closings or the over budget? Or is that something for us to go voice our concerns at the school board meetings? But those were very helpful. And I remember when they used to come on and talk about all the things that MPS had going on besides just enrollment.
Right. No, I think, and thank you for the feedback. We have the opportunity to do both. You know, I encourage
Okay.
people to always go to the school board public meetings so that you can be abreast of what's happening, keep up with, issues, make public commentary where necessary. And I think that was with Eric Vaughn, that Darian Driver
Oh,
had
okay.
that relationship where the superintendent would come in to talk about what was going on in the district. I think loosely there was a kind of a relationship with Keith Posley. I don't remember fully. I think for some reason I remember maybe once or twice Keith might have came on the radio, but no,
But I know, is it Matt Boswell? Somebody Boswell that's down there at central office. He came and talked about enrollment and trying to pump up enrollment. I just think that it'd be good that, if MPS came and represented. And lastly, I just thought about it. My other favorite was about the Supreme Court justices. Excellent interview. Would she be able to overturn the residency rule that you talked about earlier today?
No.
If she won?
Nah, that
Okay.
was done in the legislature, and that it will
So
require.
she couldn't overturn the abortion and the residency rule or anything like that
So
as
certain
a Supreme Court?
certain laws, they have to be brought before the court first. They don't have the ability to initiate any action. Those things have to be brought before the court. So if somebody were to
Okay.
challenge the legislature's decision on the residency rule, then the courts get involved in that way. But yeah, they don't get to engage in policy directly. It has to be brought to
Oh,
them. Okay.
okay.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'll
Yes,
talk to you
ma'am.
tomorrow.
Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Somebody said, yeah, there was a school board meeting last night. They need people to definitely go and participate. Everybody's situation is different in terms of their relationship with the media, with how they want to be seen and portrayed. And, I talk about this all the time. People could be so much more proactive in the way they engage this community, and they choose not to. They run from certain conversations. They run from people that's going, question them directly about what's going on in their respective organizations, agencies, legislative offices. It is very frustrating to watch. These people want these public facing jobs, but you only want to pick and choose when you engage with the public and about what. And you'll have people advising you, stay away. It might be too confrontational. It might be this, it might be that. But again, you wanted the job. You are representing taxpayers, but you want to pick and choose when, how, and what information you share with taxpayers. But when you need our money and the referendum, we can get a full court press. Everybody want to visit everywhere. You'll go anywhere anybody asks you to come. So I can persuade you to open, your pocketbook so we can get some more money. Let me go to the phone line. Hey caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
Hey, what's happening, Angela?
You know what? Great minds think alike because just what you were speaking on, I was going to say about, it's voting time, and everybody's going to need everybody's vote for this, that, and the third, the alderman, the mayor, and, so on and so forth. So, now, most of these alderman people that's not doing their job, but that's in office, we need to get I myself will not be voting for the older woman that's in my district, and she know who she is. I ain't got to speak her name, but she in there and ain't doing nothing. But anyway, good morning to everyone. I also had to call and say good morning to you all and happy Black History Month. And I love you all and keep up the good work, Michelle, because you're doing an excellent job. Excellent job.
Thank you, Angela. Appreciate you, sis. All right, now.
Clark Kent, who you with? D-Ball? Ride out, my love. Woo-hoo! I didn't get to do that the last time I was up there. I said I would, but I didn't. I respected him enough not to do it.
My love.
Ride out, I love you, dear. And you keep up the good work for what you're doing. See you all. Have a blessed day.
Oh my God. Ride out my love.
Hey man, listen.
Oh my God.
I don't know
I'm
man.
hot. She made me take my hat off. I need a rubber band. When we go to break,
Wow.
I gotta get a rubber band. Ooh, that was hot. My love. And I started to say, my love.
Right. Oh my God.
I'll never find the words, my love. Mere words
Oh my God.
cannot explain. Only you. Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
done.
God.
I'm done.
Hey, listen.
What?
Speaking of that, man, I was in Bayshore Sunday, and I went to conduct some business,
Okay.
and a young lady that listened to the show had me come over to the store because I got to do something at her store Saturday. And so the first thing she say is, well, and I was looking to see if Angela was with you. I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, man, y'all got to stop this foolishness. This foolishness. It's not real. It is not real.
I love it.
I said,
I
look,
just
Angela's
saw
not with
Clark
me.
during the break because I got some text messages. We got some silly listeners. I never seen so many silly girl folks in my life. Messy and silly. What's happening to folks, the family on Facebook? I see y'all. I see some of y'all comments rolling through. What's happening to my people on YouTube? Somebody threw in the chat, hey, it's up in El Paso. They have halted all flights for 10 days for security reasons. Yes, I saw that. True to form, this administration not giving a whole lot of information, but the Federal Aviation Administration late Tuesday halted all flights to and from El Paso International Airport for 10 days for, quote, special security reasons, isolating a major American metropolitan area from air travel. In a move that appeared to surprise even the state and local officials, the restriction went into effect at 11:30 p.m. local time on yesterday and will remain in place until 11:30 p.m. on February 20th. United Airlines issued travel waivers to customers with flights scheduled in or out of the El Paso airport during the closure. Those travelers can change their tickets, blah, 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 without, paying a fee. Southwest, doing something in kind. But the folks that are in El Paso, the Congresswoman for El Paso, Veronica Escobar, love the name Escobar, that's just such a fly name, said the move by the FAA to shut down El Paso Airport for 10 days was, quote, unprecedented. She went on to say, from what my office and I have been able to gather overnight and early this morning, there is no immediate threat to the community or surrounding areas. We have urged the FAA to lift the temporary flight restrictions placed on the El Paso area. I will continue to make information available to the public as I learn it. There are just over 1,000 flights scheduled into and out of El Paso, in their international airport over the period covered by the closure. So that's 1,000 flights that right now are scheduled between today and the 20th of February, with nearly 480 flights scheduled over that period. And the Southwest has 480 flights. American Airlines has 290 flights. While the closure could be devastating locally, the airport is not a major hub for connecting flights, so its effect on flights nationally would be limited, but you messing up the local community. So, we're waiting to see. But I would think that if the FAA is going to make a decision to close an airport and you are potentially stranding, that's, I can't get it out. You are potentially creating a situation in which people who are trying to get back home from vacation are now stranded in El Paso for the next 10 days. And depending on what your money is like, where you can stay. Some people go on vacation and they got just enough for vacation. The credit card could hold that hotel bill. It can't hold the hotel bill for 10 more days. It can't hold food and accommodations for 10 more days. I don't know anyone in this town. I'm just here as a visitor. So how do you make these kinds of decisions and at least make provisions that if you are not from El Paso and need to get out of the area, how can we get you out of the area back home safely? So, yeah, I saw that. I knew that story was happening. So for the person who put that in the chat, I appreciate it. Hang on one second. I'm checking my Facebook page. Me and Shannon Ross gonna have a problem. I see this right now. Yesterday, there was an announcement made by the mayor that the job that has now been vacated by, man, I just drew blank on the man's name, the Office of Wellness position, and the gentleman who had to step down because of technicalities in relationship to who could serve as a department head in local municipalities. And I can't believe I can't think of this man's name. He had to step down. The mayor came out with an announcement. Are you serious? I cannot. After all this, I can't think of this man's name. But the mayor came out with an announcement that he would replace Adam Parcell. Jesus, thank you, Lord. He would replace Adam Parcell with Karen Tyler to lead the city's Office of Wellness, which we know as OVP, Office of Violence Prevention, selecting a city employee who's been with the city since 2008. The nomination needs common council approval. Residents can weigh in at a town hall meeting that's happening next week. As soon as I get that information, I'll make sure that you all are aware of it. But Karen Tyler would replace, and I'm taking this directly from Channel 12's website to be able to give credit. Tyler would replace Adam Parcell, who resigned in January after 5 months in the position. We know that the city attorney's office determined that Parcell was ineligible to serve in the restructured city department because of his previous conviction for felony conviction, and that he has yet to receive a pardon because that waiting period in which he can apply for one, I guess, has not expired. So he got caught between a bunch of different regulatory, policy type things that impacted his ability to stay in that role. So Karen Tyler was in the top 3 candidates when they first did the interviews for this role. A lot of people had the opportunity to go and see her speak at the public sessions that were held, and a lot of people walked away impressed with her. So, people started weighing in on social media about maybe she should have been the person to get the job in the first place. I told people when the interview piece was happening, I didn't have a preference on any of those candidates that I saw before the public. I thought that the top three were all pretty good. And, understanding that Karen had already been doing a lot of the work, she seemed like the most natural fit for me. But, I was open. Because I just don't know enough about Karen. I don't know enough about the operations, but I know that she's been the backbone of a lot of the work. And so it made sense to me that she would ascend to that position. Particularly after the first choice ultimately ended up not accepting the job offer. And, like a lot of people was blindsided when the mayor shows up with Adam Purcell, who immediately goes on his support the police tour. And so on social media last night, people are commenting one way or the other. Lakeisha Myers put up a post on her webpage, and I need to just find the post. But yeah, she put up a post on her webpage talking about that, Karen basically should have been offered the job in the first place after this other person stepped down. And Adam Purcell's self-appointed cheerleader, Shannon Ross, the former chair of the board for Wisconsin Voices, he goes on Lakeisha's page and he says, and let me just pull it up real quick so I can say it correctly. Hang on, where's her post at? Hang on, I'm looking for her exact post. But okay, she got a whole bunch of mess on her page. But let me just paraphrase. Oh, here we go. So she said, Zora Neale, this is what Lakeisha Myers said on Facebook last night. Zora Neale Hurston said it best, quote, "The Negro woman is the mule of the world. Instead of selecting Karen the first time, she has to be the cleanup woman. I applaud her for staying and serving as deputy when she was so publicly disrespected. Let this be a lesson to the mayor and his advisors. Don't burn unnecessary political capital when you have a qualified candidate. Also, Black women can thrive in leadership. We get tired of playing second fiddle to the unqualified and ill prepared." So that's what Lakeisha put on her page. So people were commenting. And I'm looking for Shannon Ross said, what do you mean by cleanup here? And so Lakeisha responded to him what she meant by it. And Shannon said, some other stuff. And so I'm trying to figure out at what point do I get engaged? Because Shannon, let me see. There he basically was singing Adam's praises and what he's done in 5 months, whatever. So I weigh in and I said, I'm trying to figure out what you think he brought to the job in 5 months. The work was already being done. Stop acting like this man came in, descended from the heavens, and saved the city. That's not what happened. He was still learning where the bathroom was. And let me just say the obvious part out loud, that a white man with a murder conviction gets a job ahead of highly qualified Black people who've committed no crimes. That's what is a mess. Okay. And so Shannon replies back to me, Michelle, I had tried to talk to you about this. I'm not going to do this, publicly on, social media, blah, blah, blah. And, in this ineffective, messy way. And I replied back, you call it mess. I call it facts. And then he said, since you won't talk to me, talk to Karen. Well, clearly I'm talking to you because I'm talking to you on Facebook. But this is my thing. Don't whine when somebody come for you. Because you inserted yourself into this conversation. Because you wanted to be Adam Purcell's cheerleader. And you ran around the city, trying to, get a consensus to get behind this dude. Everybody didn't go with you. Everybody didn't agree. But don't call it messy when I say, for me, what is an uncomfortable truth. He did not flip the world upside down in 5 months. And when you start rattling off all of the statistics about the city saw a reduction in this, and this, and act like you're going to attach it to his name. You don't get to do that, Shannon. Y'all going to stop acting like this was white Jesus falling from the skies. You don't get to do that. Like other people not working all along and carrying them who was holding that department up until he even got on the job. And then when the point is made that a white man with a murder conviction can get this job ahead of highly qualified black folks who ain't never committed a crime, oh, now I'm being messy. The truth is often messy. The facts are often messy. That's why Donald Trump prefers to have alternate facts. It's easy to get on your high horse when you're trying to create a narrative that it's supposed to be shoved down our throats and we just supposed to accept it. I don't give nay damn about what you say about what this man did in 5 months. He never should have been in the job in the first place. I stand on that. I actually had a moment when I had to chuckle. Most of the time, black people can't get the job because they may have a felony record. In this case, we couldn't get the job because we didn't have a felony record. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Just think about that for a second. His main claim to fame was, I did a crime and I've been through the system and I know what it's like. Because academically, education wasn't no different from nobody else's. Career work for them little 5 years he been out, no different than nobody else. So your selling point was, I'm a convicted felon and specifically I'm a convicted murderer. That's your damn claim to fame, to being able to give you the edge up on these qualified black people for this job. But you know, how does Shannon describe himself on the NPS alumni website? An incarcerated dreamer. Oh, we leave out that I killed a whole ass person. I'm an incarcerated dreamer. Excuse me, didn't mean to swear, but I'm just saying. Because people get to reinvent themselves and tell the stories that they want to tell, but you ask me to ignore the fact that highly qualified black people get messed over time and 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 time again in this town, in this country, and you got black people that's helping to do it. But I'm messy. I gotta take a break because I'm hot. I'll be right back.
Someone was just telling me about a friend of ours. She went in for surgery and they took her heart out.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Black history, we must we always tell people there are certain things you can change through lifestyle change, and there are certain things you can't. And one of the things you can't change is your nationality or your race.
Mm-hmm.
And
your genetics.
And we were taken out of our country, put on the ship, and brought to America. And the slaves that survived were the slaves that were salt retainers, because the other ones died of
Dysentery.
dysentery, dehydration, whatever. So when we got to America, we made it with other slaves, and it's not. Some of us do, but it's not that we eat too much salt. It's just that we're more salt resistant. We should eat less salt
Because our bodies are much more sensitive to it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our bodies are, and it ain't our fault.
Right. And
it always gets back to slavery.
And, you know,
we say it all the time, but it always gets back to slavery.
You know, and it may not be our fault, but we still have to do something about it, right?
But if you don't know it,
exactly.
If you don't know it, and you go to the doctor, and the doctor go, "Oh, you African Americans, y'all blood pressure's so high," you know.
Excuse me.
It's an insult.
That's what I'm saying.
When he said "you people," excuse me,
and then that makes you feel some kind of way.
Oh, sure.
And
well,
then,
it makes you feel like you want to hurt somebody too.
Well, and you feel like, well, I got it anyway. But no, they because we've taken how many blood pressures in the community, and a lot of time men, they really get more defeated quicker than the women do when their blood pressures are high, because men fixate more on numbers than women do. Yeah, y'all want to know the number. What's my number? What's normal? What's
ain't gonna do nothing but tell me the number.
Want to know the number?
You know why?
Why?
So we at the barber shop.
So you can talk, man. Let me tell you what my numbers is.
Statistically correct when I'm having this conversation. That's one of the processes of you know. You walk up, Brenda, how you doing? And Brenda pulls out her medical chart. This is the process where you get older. Keith, how you doing? Well, you know, and then we tell you. I'm like, dude, I don't really want
it. I didn't really want all of
history.
that.
This was more of an esoteric question.
Yeah.
Like,
just how you doing?
how
Like
you
being
doing? How's
kind.
life?
Right.
You know, I
good
mean,
to see you.
Oh man, I tell the story, man. I went to. That's why I don't go to Super Bowl parties. And these brothers talked 30 minutes about gout. I know my boy listening. I was going like, there's a game.
But my
they're arguing about it. I'm like, come on,
Which
man.
is different to everybody. Every personal
and
gout is different.
And it's painful. It's bad. It's painful.
What about you know, we hear this term congested heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of congested heart failure?
It is truly congestive heart failure when your heart is not pumping effectively, and you know your heart on the left side, it pushes all the blood out, and it does it so forcefully. But if things aren't working properly, because the blood got to come back and go into the lungs, your heart and into the lungs and come back out, you can get where you get extra fluid. The heart is not functioning
and it's
properly.
Hey, family, welcome back to the show. Got some callers. I'm gonna get them in. Let me do this too because I want to make sure that I mentioned it. As we are looking at the Olympics play out right now, there's a young sister in skating who just made history. I got to go pull her name, but there's a name that we don't say very often when we think about the Olympics. You'll hear, names like Wilma Rudolph, Debbie Thomas, Vanetta Flowers. Just a ton of Black, particularly women, whose names that we'll hear. But I just want to make sure that I take a second and acknowledge Alice Coachman. Alice Coachman became the first Black woman to win an Olympic gold medal, setting a high jump record at the 1948 London Games. Overcoming severe segregation, Black female athletes have since dominated, and I mentioned a number of them. But if you do not know anything about Alice Coachman, I encourage you to learn about this sister who, she's 12 years ahead of Wilma Rudolph and a lot of the phenomenal athletes that would come behind her. We know Jesse Owens' story, but we don't really know Alice Coachman's story. First Black woman to win a Olympic gold medal. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle. Good morning, my dear sister.
Good morning, bro. How you doing this morning?
Your Black Student Union brothers doing really groovy. Can you dig it? hey, Michelle. I want to, before I go to my classroom, your topics are very, very deep this morning. You dig? And it's kind of groovy. I'm going to say this, everything is deeper than the ocean. Deeper than the ocean, it says the world was flat when it was round.
Right.
But precious friend, with you, I always have a friend. You are someone who we can depend on to set the path that is sometimes been. Can you dig it? And I'm gone.
Thank you, Brian. Silly man. See, did I just say we got silly listeners?
The whole song. That was the whole
And then he
song.
said I stepped out of class. Was it a song, Jermaine? What was the song,
I
Jermaine?
don't know, but that felt like a song I need to sing.
Wait, Jermaine, I want to play this. Is this what he made me think of? Hold on. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on.
So can you dig it?
I love when he say that though. It cracks me up every time. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Where my volume?
Got the young
Hang on, let me start over. You
in
ready?
a capture.
Oh wait, hold on. I got two things open. Okay, now give me 1 sec. I apologize, y'all. Okay, now I'm ready.
Ours come out.
Hang on.
You so black. When you smile, the stars come out. You so black when you born, the God come out. Black is not. Black when it's wrong and black when it's right. Black is pyramids and mathematics. Black is melanized in magic. Black is televised and in need of drastic black advancement. Black enhances, black with chances, black with privilege, black with pride, black on purpose on the black hand side, black and beautiful, black and blessed and highly favored, praise the Lord, black and blessed, black and so much more, black and nothing less, black and educated, black is brilliance. Black is strong, black is resilient, black is song, black is infinite, like hip hop or space. Black is grace, black is love, black makes babies, black babies grow up, black is tough, black is hard to do. Black is me, black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. It's something we get to wear and we get to rock this with honor. I'm black like my granddaddy and my great-great-great-great-grandma. Black is that lift every voice and sing. Black is that letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun. You so black. Oh, you so black. When you smile, the stars come out. Baby, you so black. When you're born, the God come out.
I love that piece. And I love when we embrace who we are. And so whenever I hear that brother call, it takes me back to a different era. You know, when people appreciated their uniqueness, their swag. Why you nodding so vigorously on that?
Because I feel like I should have been born
in a different time.
Yeah, in a different time.
You
man.
should have.
Yeah, you know, get my swag on. You understand me? Yeah.
Did you just grab your locks?
Can you dig it, baby? Can you dig it?
Young blood.
Hey.
Piece and I'll get her name. But we needed to hear that. What she say, black is hard to do. But you need to understand the power in black. And that's some things that we get caught up in dumb stuff and we forget. We got a caller?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me go to the phone line. Hey caller, what's happening?
What's going on, Messy Michelle?
Messy Michelle?
Man, listen, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel so good today because this is somebody else's messy. Man, do you know how good it feels to have a kindred soul on the radio?
That would be Keith. I'm not messy. I just point out facts.
You mess Michelle. No. So
He say,
no. Michelle Bryant is Sean Moore's messy twin. That's what's happening. I love it. This could be better.
You know what? Is that all you call for? Just to...
No. My bad.
Forget you,
I
Sean.
just had to get that out.
What you
had
want?
to get that out. But I just agree with you, man. I think he was also put in a position that he just wasn't ready for, man. No blame to him, but he wasn't ready for it. Like you said, just because you go to jail and you out for 5 years because you're living good, that I'm going to come out and be righteous. That's not a lived experience. And hopefully, Karen will do a great job. But yeah, I really was calling to say I got a twin.
Well,
that's what I'm calling for.
Well, look, okay, twin, love you much, fam.
Talk to you
My
later.
brother. All right. I mean, I'm just saying, by the time you start talking about you become an executive director, you got a resume that gets you to that place. Well, they say Karen been with the city since 2008. Somebody who has not been on the streets for 20 years and ain't had that level of interaction for real for 20 years cannot demonstrate that you have budgetary experience and experience at a level of an executive director. What did I say? You got made the interim of some organization, but was the interim for the whole 5 years you was there or 3 years you was there, whatever. I am somebody that respects experience. I respect the grind. And you can't tell me with 5 years of whatever kind of work experience that was that, all of a sudden you the best prepared person for this job. And they kept trying to introduce the felony like that made, that was the icing on the cake. But even if you remove the felony, you didn't have what was necessary to be fully effective in that job. And then the first thing out your mouth is to talk strong to the mayor. and then to do love letters to the police department. And think about this for a second. When do you see the Milwaukee Police Association coming out to cheer and rah, rah, rah for a convicted murderer? When you see that? I keep saying, let that marinate for a second. How often do you see the Milwaukee Police Department? We're here to support Adam Purcell. Y'all gonna start acting like I'm crazy. All right. Some other things I want to get to. Let me get this caller before I get rolling on these last few minutes I have. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing today, Kathy?
Good indeed. Let me take my time and I'm going to go fast. You know, you're talking about this man with the violent convention or whatever name they changed you to. But I can't figure out, he can murder people, gets a job. But then I knew some people who I told them to go to fill an application out to be work at the voting polls. Well, you know, they said the voting polls, if you're an if you've been convicted of a crime, you can't work the voting polls. What are you going to do with the voting polls? You're going to murder somebody? So we need to look at changing that because somebody had a conviction on the record don't mean that me or Kathy can't work the voting polls. I couldn't comprehend that it was, you know what I'm saying, that was probably prejudice. But why can't a person work the voting polls if you can hire somebody in the city of Milwaukee who had murdered somebody and you're going to skip over all these people, including this sister, to give us this job to this young man? That was really, I'm not going to call it unfair. They're full of crap. I'm going to use another word later. But what's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing is that karma is something else because it caught up with the city and Cavalier Johnson, but they couldn't hire him anyway. So, you know, it was a flop to begin with. So sometimes when you do ugly, it comes out in the light. And this came out very quickly, less than 6 months. You know, so look at the whole picture. Why can't somebody go out and vote when you can turn around and hire somebody who killed somebody, okay? And he hasn't paid restitution to that crime yet either, okay? I can guarantee that the restitution, somebody need to file a judgment against the person so when they get out of jail or whatever happens, you can garnish their wages or wages they may or may not have. You know what I'm saying? If they're going on disability. But that was just crazy to hire this boy. And what I'm saying right now, and I don't have a problem with Cavalier. I have a problem with people's ways of doing things. So, as far as I'm concerned, don't run for office again. But I'm the kind of person that I'm not going to give you a chance not to run for office again. I'll recall you, but this city's not going to do that. These people are not going to do that. He's going to say he's a black man. I know he ain't remember that to us. I can guarantee that. So all I'm saying is that that's ridiculous. So what people need to do if they don't like something, you don't let somebody stay in office and we're not going to elect them next time. They may not want to run next time anyway. You don't get a chance to keep sitting doing this job. You recall them, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said again, not going to happen because people won't do that anyway. You got all these people, nothing in Milwaukee who are minorities and stuff. Can't bring grocery stores nowhere. I don't live in the grocery store desert. You know where I live at 02. Okay, you got Metromart, you got Pick and Save right there, with the same company. You got Whole Foods right there. You got Fresh Time right there. That's not even less than 6 blocks away. And you know what else we got over there? We got Walgreens, and on the corner you got CVS Pharmacy, and then Metromart has a pharmacist in there. So we're not living. I don't live in a desert. Okay, I don't live in a desert, and people steal in them stores too. I know they do. I know firsthand they do. I see them because I work with them. Okay, so I'm not trying to be funny, but we need to stand up and do something better. But we're not going to do anything better in Wisconsin and part of the woods. It's never going to happen in my lifetime. Now, if it does, I'm not going to eat my words, but it's not going to happen. This is terrible. We need to look and see why can't a person work the voting polls if they had a record a long time ago. This boy wasn't pardoned. He didn't have anything going on, and they're going to just hand this white, Hispanic, anything that didn't look like he was African American, a job over, like you said, this sister. Like I said, people, look out when it comes to elections because it's not going to happen. You got Chief Norman in there. Now, he wanted to leave. Now, since he wanted to leave, he didn't get the job in San Antonio because he didn't answer the question right about the LGBTQ people. Now, they're going to give him a raise. And I would have gave him a raise. He could stay here with the same salary. That's all I would have did. He could stay here with the same salary. So they come out, the city got out of money, and then you're going to hire this lady from the school board. And I don't have anything against her because somebody going to offer me a job for $300,000 or whatever they paid her, I'm gonna accept it. I'm not gonna say, well, that's just wait and see with the budget. I'll put that toward the budget. No, I'm gonna take that money and run as long as I can get it. Okay. Okay, but that's that. Then now they got a shortfall, and they always gonna get our taxes coming up. We need to get up out of this town. If I wouldn't invest in some other stuff, I'd have been going a long time ago. Because this is just not working out. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired of everything myself. I don't even go to stuff, political stuff like I used to more. I don't stand up for right for people that somebody like you, or you go on the radio begging for something for the holiday. We need to get somebody some clothes and food, toys for the holiday. Somebody's house burned down. No, and don't put on a GoFundMe page. Teach your kids how to get insurance, okay? Renter's insurance.
Okay, Kathy.
I know I'm going a lot, but I'll pay to get on the radio for an hour and talk about this. People in the city, they don't like it, they can meet me somewhere, but this is ridiculous.
Not meet me somewhere. Kathy.
No, when I get my new job as a comedian, I'm going to do some talking. So you're going to come for free because I'm going to talk about everybody sitting there because they may have to throw me out, okay? With security. I'm just saying, this city is sick.
All
so
right.
I'd like to know if you can invest in why a person that's coming.
You know what? Yeah, I'm actually going to call the election commission when I get off the air today to ask that question because I wasn't aware of that. I'll check into it.
And then we need to get somebody to change that because you can hire somebody who murdered somebody and didn't even pay the family out for the money like Daniel Bell case did. Didn't pay nobody out for the money for the wrong that you caused the family. And you can come out here and get a job and step into a phony thing. He didn't do nothing for the community. He should have worked back in the community and paid back his time. Bless y'all.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Then she in with a mic drop. Bless y'all.
Bless y'all. All right. I got another caller. But I don't want to go to the phone. Hey, caller, what's happening?
What's up, Michelle? This is Angela again.
Yes, Angela, what's happening?
So, what was my rah-rah when I got out? I ain't getting no rah when I got released.
Well, what kind of rah did you? What we talking about?
When you said the police, do they give people rah? No, what was my rah? I want the rah too. I ain't getting no rah.
Angela, bye, Angela.
No, wait, Michelle.
What?
But listen, I want to just let all the listeners know, me and White are just friends. Y'all just don't, it's no big thing that y'all think I should be there, but we're just friends. Don't take it the wrong way. He's still the love of my life, though, but we're just good friends.
Thank you, Angela.
Angela, I am hanging up on you.
All right, goodbye right now.
So, again, the most special listeners.
Yes,
the most special listeners. All right, speaking of special, let me just say, I was waiting to see when the little controversy first kicked up a few days ago, whether or not Republican governors were going to do the right thing. I was waiting to see because there's something known as the National Governors Association in which governors and I guess their leadership team have an annual meeting with the president of the United States, whoever that happens to be. And they go to the White House. I think their spouses get to come, families or something like that. And there's a dinner. And so we had begun to get early word that this formal meeting that was going to happen with the governors, which was supposed to happen with Trump in DC next month or later on this month, that only Republican governors were going to be invited. So the president of the National Governors Association is Wes Moore, who is a Democrat. No, I take it back. And I knew that was wrong. The chair of the chair of the Governors Association is a Republican out of Oklahoma. His name is Kevin Stitt. But Wes Moore is one of the officers or something like that. And so they had told Wes Moore, like, you're uninvited, not the governors. This is the Trump administration. And then there's one other Democrat that's on that leadership team. You're uninvited. Wes Moore is the only black governor in the country. And so everybody looking like, wait, is some of this race? Is this partisan? What's happening? But this is a group that have functioned and worked together to, at least, the public's understanding, to advance the work of all of the states. And just so you know, there are 55 governors, because if you think about our U.S. territories, that are a part of this association. And so some of the Republican governors were saying they were still going to the White House for the meeting with Trump. And I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to as an individual, but you better not be doing this as the National Governors Association, understanding that members got excluded, because remember, nothing lasts forever. So when a Democrat becomes president again, and they will, are y'all going to be cool with a Democrat saying no Republican governors are invited to the White House? You would not be. So thank God, cooler heads have prevailed. Decency has prevailed. They have pushed back on the White House. And they have said that no, the National Governors Association, under the banner of our organization, will not be going forward with this meeting. Now, what will be interesting is how many governors go outside of the official meeting. The group was scheduled to meet from February 19th to the 21st. One of the few remaining venues where political leaders from both major parties gathered to discuss the top issues facing their communities. The White House press secretary, where did it go? The White House press secretary, where'd it go? Said on Tuesday that Trump has, quote, discretion to invite anyone he wants to the White House. It's the people's house, she said. It's also the president's home. Ain't nobody inviting you to the damn president's home. Upstairs is the president's home. Downstairs is the people's house. So all these dumb people in office and working for these people, you can't in one breath say it's the people's house and it's the president's home. Upstairs is your home. The main meeting room, everything else outside of the private living quarters, that belongs to the people. Silly woman. He gets to invite whomever he wants to dinners and events here at the White House. That's not how this goes. That's not how this was designed to go. That's not how this should go. And anybody that is decent, if you got a whole organization that normally meets, this is precedent, protocol, has gone on for years, then you come in and decide, I don't want to meet with the other political party at this particular event. You don't get to do that. And I'm so glad that people are finding some kind of courage to stand up to this administration. Even though a lot of these are small ways, and we got major things that are happening that require a voice and pushback and a presence. But I'm happy to see that somebody had the temerity to say, no, we can't do that. Because what Republicans need to realize, this dude ain't gonna be here forever. All this foolishness, as soon as he is out of office, and if a Democrat gets elected, I swear to God, I hope they go through and reverse everything he did. As soon as he leaves. As soon as he leaves. This protection is not going to last forever. And now that we are, in year 2, people on the Republican side of the aisle that's savvy, that understand the cycle, they know they're going to have to start breaking away from this dude. Because I don't know that we'll ever be back to normal in the way we used to function as a government, but we're not going to stay stuck on stupid either. And so people know they're going to have to start shifting away from Trump. They're going to have to start shifting away from MAGA and the foolishness that you can be openly racist and mistreat people and do whatever you want to just because you think you are privileged and you have the right to do so. Just like when the Trump administration, the press secretary decides when they ask the question, hey, just want to touch bases. Because your boy, Donald Trump, said he never knew anything about Jeffrey Epstein's little endeavors. But in the files, there's a police report in which a sheriff says he talked to Trump, and Trump said, yeah, we knew he was doing it. I'm so glad you got this dude. And Trump initiated the call. Didn't nobody show up at Mar-a-Lago to do the interview? Trump called them. So glad you about to get this dude. And now, individual after individual connected to Donald Trump all got a pathway to Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick is before the committee trying to tap dance on, oh, I said we met him one time and he was awful and we would never interact with him again and never, one and done. That's all I did. Oh, you found that paperwork that I was on the boat and I went to the island? Well, I just had lunch with him. My wife was there and my children and their nannies, as in plural. How many nannies you got? I got to take a break. But I'm going to have to play a clip from Rachel Maddow. Y'all know I don't listen to MSNBC old, MS Now, whatever it's called, because I just can't do it. But I love Rachel Maddow. When I come back, I'm going to play a clip from her. I'll be right back.
Oh, speaking of Black history, we must we always tell people there are certain things you can change through lifestyle change, and there are certain things you can't. And one of the things you can't change is your nationality or your race. And
Your genetics.
And we were taken out of our country, put on the ship, and brought to America. And the slaves that survived were the slaves that were salt retainers, because the other ones died of
Dysentery,
dehydration, whatever. So when we got to America, we made it with other slaves, and it's not. Some of us do, but it's not that we eat too much salt. It's just that we're more salt resistant. We should eat less salt
because our bodies are much more sensitive to it.
That's it.
Yeah,
our bodies are, and it ain't our fault.
Right. And
it always gets back to slavery.
And
we say it all the time. It always gets back to slavery.
And it may not be our fault, but we still have to do something about it, right?
But if you don't know it,
exactly.
If you don't know it, and you go to the doctor, and the doctor go, "Oh, you African Americans, y'all blood pressure's so high,"
Excuse me?
It's an insult.
That's what I'm saying.
When he said "you people," excuse me,
and then that makes you feel some kind of way.
Oh, sure.
And
well,
then,
it makes you feel like you want to hurt somebody too.
Well, and you feel like, well, I got it anyway. But no, because we've taken how many blood pressures in the community, and a lot of time men, they really get more defeated quicker than the women do when their blood pressures are high, because men fixate more on numbers than women do. Yeah, y'all want to know the number. What's my number? What's normal? Ain't
gonna do nothing but tell me the number.
Want to know the number?
You know why?
Why?
So we at the barber shop.
So you can talk, man. Let me tell you what my numbers is.
Statistically correct when I'm having this conversation. That's one of the processes of You walk up, Brenda, how you doing? And Brenda pulls out her medical chart. This is the process of, when you get older, Keith, how you doing? Well, and then we tell you, I'm like, dude, I don't really,
Really
know,
wanted. I didn't
know
really
your
want
medical
all of that.
history. This was more of an esoteric
Yeah.
question. Like,
Just how you doing?
how you
Like
doing?
being
How's
kind,
life?
right?
You know, I
Good
mean,
to see you.
Oh man, I tell the story, man. I went to. That's why I don't go to Super Bowl parties. And these brothers talked 30 minutes about gout. I know my boy listening. I was going like, "There's a game,"
but my
they're arguing about it. I'm like, "Come on,
Which
man!"
is different to everybody. Every personal
and
gout is different,
and it's painful. It's bad. It's painful.
What about you know, we hear this term congested heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of congested heart failure?
It is truly congestive heart failure when your heart is not pumping effectively, and your heart on the left side, it pushes all the blood out, and it does it so forcefully. But if things aren't working properly, because the blood got to come back and go into the lungs, your heart, and into the lungs and come back out, you can get where you get extra fluid. The heart is not functioning
and it's
properly.
Hold on.
And is
Okay, hang on.
who Trump. So who is in charge of the U.S. Navy? Constitutionally speaking, as you know, we have civilian control of the Navy and of all the other branches of the armed services. And is
Okay, hang on.
you know, it's a civilian who's in charge. So of the who US is Navy. in charge of the U.S.
you know
Navy?
who the civilian is?
Constitutionally speaking, as you know, we have civilian control of the Navy and of all the other branches of the armed services. And is.
Okay. Got it. I'm sorry. I had two screens up. Let me do this one more time. I apologize for my lack of technical savvy here. I apologize. But I want you all to hear this because I think she did a phenomenal job. And I'm talking about Rachel Maddow. Now, of course, it's the whole thing. All right, here we go. Try it again.
In the Navy, never served in the military at all. So who is in charge of the U.S. Navy? Constitutionally speaking, as you know, we have civilian control of the Navy and of all the other branches of the armed services. So, you know, it's a civilian who's in charge of the U.S. Navy. Do you know who the civilian is who Trump put in charge of the Navy? One hint is that he's a man who never served in the Navy, never served in the military at all. He has no known previous relationship of any kind with the Navy or with the U.S. military at all. Indeed, he was not known to have ever even shown any interest in the Navy or the U.S. military whatsoever before Donald Trump made him Secretary of the Navy. Why did Donald Trump put this guy in charge of it? I don't know. What the guy does know a lot about, what at least he is known for in the world, is his art collection. His name is John Phelan, 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 that's him on the left with his wife. Mr. Phelan is an art collector and finance guy who Donald Trump put in charge of the United States Navy for some reason. Now, is his art collecting itself perhaps Navy related? Like, is he into paintings of ships or famous naval battles of the 19th century? Who Trump put in charge of the Navy, describing the art tastes of Trump's new Navy secretary. She described his tastes as, quote, a celebration of the sexual side of life. The publication ArtNet published photos of some of his collection in situ at one of his homes, photos that I cannot show you on TV. Other art world publications described, for example, a video art installation at one of his homes, which is just all Playboy centerfolds. There's also famously the floor at his like $38 million mansion in Aspen, Colorado. In an interview with the artnewspaper.com, Trump's Navy Secretary, John Phelan, his wife, was asked by that publication, quote, what is the most surprising place you have displayed a work? And she answered, quote, in the living room of our Aspen home, we have a mirrored floor. It covers the entire space. It is amazing to see people's reactions at parties when they realize what you can see in the floor. Naughty and nice, end quote. That Aspen home with the mirrored floor, that is where John Phelan hosted a gazillion-dollar fundraiser for candidate Donald Trump in August 2024. That fundraiser made news because it was one of the times Trump stated his made-up claim that prisons in the Congo were releasing all their murderers in order to ship them to the United States. He told that tall tale at the house with the, quote, naughty surprise mirrored floor, whose owner Trump soon named to run the United States Navy, despite him having no connection to the Navy at all. Incidentally, that Aspen fundraiser was one that Trump flew to on an airplane that had previously belonged to Jeffrey Epstein, which itself made some headlines at the time. The campaign said at the time that that was just a coincidence. But, you know, in the course of time, Trump got reelected to the presidency in November of 2024. He really did name this guy, John Phelan, the rando sexual side of life art collector with a mirrored floor to run the United States Navy. And Congress really did force Trump's Justice Department to release at least some of the government's files on Trump's friend, the late convicted pedophile and child sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein. And perhaps inevitably, among the revelations in the Epstein files was this headline: John Phelan, Trump's Navy Secretary, listed in Epstein flight logs. John Phelan, the billionaire art collector whom President Donald Trump appointed to oversee the U.S. Navy, appears to have traveled on at least 2 transatlantic flights with Jeffrey Epstein. The flight manifests list Epstein, Phelan, and a handful of other men, including Jean-Luc Brunel, a French model scout who was accused of rape during the 1990s and later of providing girls to Jeffrey Epstein. Brunel was found dead in his jail cell in France in 2022 after being charged in a related case. Authorities ruled it death by suicide. Epstein's aircraft was nicknamed the, quote, Lolita Express because, as some of Epstein's accusers have said, he frequently had young women and girls aboard the plane to entertain his guests. CNN was first to report on Navy Secretary John Phelan's flights with Jeffrey Epstein. They also published this flight log from the Epstein files, where you can see the Navy Secretary's name listed there. He's number 9 on the flight manifest. Now, nobody has claimed there were definitely any young women on board this plane or girls on board this plane, but we don't know who the other 6 people are whose names are redacted from this flight manifest for whatever reason. Why were those people having their names redacted? MS Now contacted the U.S. Navy about John Phelan's connections to Jeffrey Epstein and Phelan's time on board Epstein's plane. The Navy is offering no comment. But today was the first day that members of Congress were allowed, under very strict conditions, to physically go to the Justice Department, where they were allowed to see unredacted versions of some Epstein documents. Judging by the reaction from members of Congress like Jamie Raskin, who took advantage of this opportunity today, members of Congress today seem just as frustrated as ever about what the Trump administration is doing and continues to do with all this Epstein-related material.
So I want to stop it there. This is on YouTube. You can go and watch it. And I know that there are a number of people who will say, hey, be careful about doing too much on Jeffrey Epstein. Don't go down the rabbit hole. This is intended to be a distraction away from all the other things that are going on in the country that this man is doing around the world. I'm going to say we have to be able to do all of it. We got to be able to have some people talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And I was listening to somebody on my way into work this morning who I actually, most of the time I'm in alignment with what they say, but it was, we can't get caught up listening, talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Because it's a whole bunch of us. I say it all the time. You take this, you take this, you take this, you take this, I'll take this. If we all work on all these things simultaneously, we bring about movement. What you're not going to get me to do is to look away from one Trump affiliate after another, after another, after another, now having to explain how their names appear on this man's flight manifest to his private island. And a lot of these grown men's names showed up. But as Rachel points out, you got 6 names that are all blacked out. Why? Why are their names blacked out? Are they women? Are they girls? Are they minors? Why are their names blacked out? Because here is, listen to how these people talk. Their Aspen home. That's a $38 million house. Why are you over the U.S. Navy and you have literally no connection, don't understand the Navy? You threw a $12 million fundraiser for Donald Trump and you are rewarded, you freak. You got a mirror on somebody's floor. I got on a dress. I walk in your house and you can see my crotch. Let that sink in for a second. And his nasty, freak-deek wife says, oh, the fun. I'm not coming to nobody's house with the expectation you got a mirror that can see up my dress. Who puts a mirrored floor down? Anytime you use a mirror, it is for a purpose. Whether it's above your bed, above your on your ceiling, in your bathroom, mirrors serve a purpose. They make rooms look larger. They, are an enhancement in some way. You don't just put a mirrored floor. And what did Rachel say? The man's art was so freak-deek, I can't even show it on TV. But you're an art collector. All these people are perverts. And they all are rich and all seemed untouchable and able just to live out their freak-deek personal fantasies wherever they wanted to. And they brought in young girls and children to be able to help with these fantasies from low-income, marginalized communities. So I keep going back to Donald Trump And all of these silly MAGA hat wearing individuals talking about we gonna drain the swamp. And I'm like, the biggest creatures that we've ever seen possibly in American history are in the White House and administrative roles right now. This is the swamp. And it's all tied into sex in a non-healthy way. These people got their own personal playground of abusing young girls and doing whatever they wanted to and getting away with it. And they had wives and women that was going along with the foolishness. Then you got Lutnick, who got to sit in front of these people. And, okay, I was there more than just once. After you done did this whole, dramatic one and done. I only met with them one time. These people are gross. They're disgusting. I never would be around him. And you had your kids around him? Your kids' nannies with the S? I don't know how many kids you got. But why you need 2 and 3 and 4 nannies, I don't know. Y'all trifling? What did I say? Ted Cruz, the man called your wife ugly. You got your wife and your daughter sitting up there at the little dinner. I've just never seen people like this before in my life. I've never seen people before like this in my life. These people are filthy and disgusting. I pray that people continue to peel at this scab, to pull back these layers until the truth gets told about what these folks have done. What did I say? William Barr, his attorney general, his daddy hires Jeffrey Epstein, who comes to work at the prestigious high school, who actually did not complete college, never completed college. This school costs bread to attend. You got somebody in front of these kids who never completed college. The kid said he was dressed like a pimp. And then William Barr's daddy is making comic books where white folks leave him go to the moon and use black people as their personal sex slaves on the moon. So when we kept saying they're going to try to leave us behind, no, part of the plan was to take us so they could have us be sex slaves. Do y'all understand who these grimy people are who are running this country right now? Everything motivated by money and by personal pleasure and fetish. We gonna drain the swamp. But what you did was you got rid of thousands of hardworking federal employees. You got rid of people that showed up day after day for their entire career to serve this country. These are the lowest people on the totem pole. You cleared all of them out. And you gave somebody who has a $38 million home a secretary position. You put silly Linda McMahon over the Department of Education again. Like, you literally just went through your Rolodex, old school, of all these wealthy, privileged, don't have a clue about what you're doing, who you hurting, how people will, what the fallout will be from these decisions. And you give all of these people immense power over everyday, hardworking Americans. And you have the audacity to have 40% of this population, of this nation, who thinks that this is okay. But these people are some freaks. I go back and I think about slavery. It wasn't just about enslaving black people and getting free labor. Y'all was having sex with these people and raping them for your own personal pleasure and doing anything you wanted to them. If you got to punish a black man, why you got to mutilate his penis? Because there's something wrong with y'all. We not far removed from what we saw people doing back in slavery, y'all. I hope people don't stop trying to get to the bottom of this. I'm not interested in people telling me that this is a distraction, Michelle. We need to get to the bottom of this. With that being said, I'm going to wrap the show. I didn't talk about the monks that arrived in D.C. after walking for 108 days and the work that they did to try to bring an awareness of peace in this country. But you got people doing that. And you got these clowns and all they perversions running this country. We need to do better. That starts with voting. And every Negro that made an excuse why you didn't show up at the polls, why you couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. And when I say Negro, I mean, let me be across the board. Every individual that made an excuse for putting that man back in office, whether you showed up or you didn't show up. Let's try not to repeat that. Bros, I appreciate y'all. Family, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.